I'm Phil Bolton with the Global Atlanta News Service, and today I'm with the Minister of International Trade and Investment from Malaysia. Minister Mustapa, welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you, Phil. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know the United States. You were a student in Boston.
Yes.
How do you feel trade and investment is going with the United States?
Firstly, the U.S. is a very important country to Malaysia. 10 years ago, 18.7% of our total trade is with U.S. U.S. was, a big trading partner. Now it's about 11-12%. It's gone down in terms of contribution to our total trade because China and these other countries, India, have come up very fast in the last few years. Having said that, in terms of volume, 2008, for example, 2009 is not a good year to compare because trade came down significantly, but 2008 was about $42 billion US, and it accounted for about 12% of total trade. So in terms of trade, US is important. In terms of investment, US is number 2 after Japan. We have $14 billion US of investments in Malaysia, which is a very big amount. So America is very important in Malaysia. We've enjoyed very close ties since we became independent in 1957, and there's been a lot of exchanges of visits. And for me, this is my second trip in 2010. I was in Seattle, I was in Washington, D.C., and also New York in May of this year. So it's good to be back.
Do you have a positive view about the rest of the year in 2011?
The economic situation is still very tough. We've been reading quite a bit about what's happening in America following the collapse of Lehman Brothers about 3 years ago. But I think regulations have been put in place to strengthen the banking system. I think we will welcome that development. So 2010 has been a tough year for the world economy, not just for America and for Malaysia. We did quite well in the first half of 2010, but second half is going to be a bit slower. 2011, hopefully, from our point of view, we hope the Malaysian economy will be steady. We are expecting a growth of 6% this year, which is a fairly high rate of growth for us, although we've been doing a lot better in the 1990s. But we are an open economy, one of the most open economies in the world. We depend a lot on trade. Trade is very important.
Well, are you concerned about protectionism in the United States, and just would you like to see a free trade agreement with the U.S.?
As an open economy, of course, we would like to see freer trade. Firstly, lower tariffs, and secondly, less restrictions, non-tariff barriers. It is in our interest to see the conclusion of more FTAs, free trade agreements. Malaysia has signed a number of bilateral, and as well as we are a member of ASEAN, one of the 10 countries of ASEAN, and ASEAN has concluded free trade agreements with India, with China, Japan, Korea. We are very keen to conclude a similar agreement in America in 2006. We started talking and to have a free trade agreement with America, but unfortunately we have encountered some difficulties here and there. So that has been put on hold. At present we're working what we call a Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a bigger group of countries, and America is one of them. There's a group of 8 countries, and hopefully by the end of this year we'll come on board as one of the countries which will negotiate this new partnership among Pacific countries, 8 countries altogether, and if Malaysia were to come in, it would be 9 countries. So as an open economy, we're very keen to pursue free trade agreements with America and with many other trading partners.
And Malaysia has been really one of the foundations of ASEAN, has it not? And it's benefited.
We're one of the founding members. Yeah,
right.
We are a firm believer of economic integration. Of course, ASEAN started as an initiative to bring us closer together politically, to reduce tension in this area. And there was a communist threat one time, Vietnam War, and a number of border issues. But with the establishment of ASEAN, there are no major problems in ASEAN. That's how we started. But now we're going more and more into economic issues. We're now talking about economic integration. 2015, we're going to set up what we call the ASEAN Economic Community. We are one of the biggest supporters of this initiative. And the economic community means a freer flow. 2010, 1st January, as a matter of fact, there's zero tariffs on about 99% of products of trade within ASEAN. So we are almost there. But in the economic community by January 2015 means there's a freer flow of people as well. It's not just goods. At present, yes, we have zero tariffs on almost every item. We have 580 million people. It's a big market, twice the size of America in terms of population. Of course, in terms of GDP, which is much smaller. But ASEAN is located in a very strategic part of Asia, and it contains some of the most dynamic economies in the region. And we believe ASEAN has got a lot of potential.
Malaysia, over the years, has always encouraged relationships with universities.
Yes.
How has Malaysia benefited from those agreements, and would you like to see agreements in the state of Georgia?
We have a number of Malaysian students here in Georgia, and at present we have 6,000 Malaysian students in America. In the early 1980s, we used to have 20,000 when we were richer, when our currency was much stronger. Our currency is very strong before the Asian financial crisis in 1997, 98. So 20,000 is a big number for a small country. Now we have 6,000. Yes, education is very important, and our students here are doing engineering programs, business programs. So these are the most popular programs here. And we have what we call twinning programs. Many Malaysians are doing American programs in Malaysia. We have what we call 3+0, which means they can do an American degree in Malaysia without coming to the States at all. Or they can have 2+1, this is called twinning. They can do part of the program in Malaysia and another part in the U.S. We are pioneers, perhaps in the world, in what we call this twinning program. We have strong ties with universities in the States, across the country. Of course, we're interested to forge ties with Georgia as well. Our people have been coming to Louisiana, LSU, for example, for agriculture. We're an agricultural college in Malaysia. This college has been producing students at diploma level. They come here for a degree, LSU, with very strong ties with Midwest, Ohio, Wisconsin. Not too many students have come to Georgia, but we know that here we've got one of the finest universities in the world, Georgia Tech, in the forefront of knowledge. Yes, Malaysia has been one of the beneficiaries of American education. Yeah? And I know that you've been on the Peace Corps. Yeah,
Right.
And I myself was trained at BU, did development economics. I was, as a matter of fact, in what we call the Hubert H. Humphrey program, one of the most illustrious vice presidents. I was here on an American fellowship, Fulbright scholarship here. So I'm now a minister of the Malaysian government, and I've been a beneficiary of your generosity in providing scholarships. Yes, and education is very important to us.